Hello, welcome to Weathered Oak Media. I'm Will and I hope you're all doing well out there. This video is a continuation of a little project that I started in my previous video, restoring my grandfather's guitar. In part 1 I introduced you all to an old friend of mine, my old Raven guitar that I inherited from my grandfather about 30 years ago. And in this video we're going to take a closer look at the guitar and I'll show you where it needs a little love and TLC and restoration. If you missed part 1, please go back and check that out. This guitar has a really interesting history, and then come back and watch this one. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to show you the guitar in detail, and then I'll plug it into an amplifier, and we'll check to make sure that the pickups work. And at the end, I'll take the strings off, and we'll start giving the guitar a good cleaning. And then for the third installment of this series, what I've decided to do is, just to break this up a little bit more, is in the third video I'll actually get right into doing more of the work on the guitar, polishing up the frets, and then I'll put the new strings on and I'll show you everything all fully restored. I have to take my time with this project because I work full time, so I can only work on this little bits here and there. So we'll get started with all of this in about 15 seconds. Welcome back. Once again, I'm Will. Thanks for sticking around. So as I said a moment ago, this is a continuation of the project that I started in my previous video, restoring my grandfather's guitar. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you a closer look at the guitar, and I'll show you the different points that need a little bit of TLC and restoration. Now, these are all things that I'm doing at my skill level. I don't claim to be an expert guitar tech or a guitar luthier or anything like that. I'm not going to do anything crazy with this guitar that's beyond my reach. I'm not going to start carving into the body or doing any crazy modifications. I'm just basically going to be doing simple things like cleaning it up and replacing any worn out parts that I can do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the guitar. I've got it actually laying here in front of me on my coffee table here in my living room. It's the only place that I could do this where I could set it up with good lighting and everything else like that, and my wife graciously allowed me to do this. In fact, she'll be on the second camera doing the close-up shots of the guitar here for us. A little later in the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the guitar into an amp and we'll check to make sure that the pickups work, and we'll check the volume and tone pots as well. And then finally at the end, we'll take the strings off and we'll start giving the guitar a good cleaning. In the third installment of this series is when I'll actually do any of the other work that I need to do, like replacing the nut and cleaning and polishing the frets and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So we'll begin here by starting with a closer look at the guitar. Let's cue up that second camera so we can get these nice close-up shots going. So let's begin here by taking a nice close look at the guitar. We'll focus in on the headstock here and then we'll work our way down. So up here everything's pretty good. I mean, obviously it's going to need a little clean and polish. You can see a little bit of dirt and grime and wear and tear there. The binding is coming away a little bit from the headstock there, and so I'm just going to make sure to fix that up a little bit. I don't want to replace it because I do like the natural aging that's on there. This is all real, genuine wear and tear in here and discoloration. This is all from real life. Moving on down the guitar here, I am going to replace the nut. I do have one of these new Tusk XL nuts that I'm just going to pop in there. It might be a little hard to see from this angle, but over here the nut is worn to the point where the string is almost touching the fretboard, so definitely going to fix that up. Obviously I'm going to clean the fretboard, I'm going to clean and polish the frets. They're not very tall frets, so I don't have a whole lot of room to grind anything off if I have to, but I'll be able to check all of that. I've also got one of these so I can check out the trueness of the neck, and I'll be able to do that in a bit. Over here we've got a loose strap button. Some of that is my fault. I had one of those locking guitar straps on there, but it gripped a little bit too tightly and just put too much stress on that, but I can fix that up. That shouldn't be a problem. I'll check out the switch here and do any cleanup in there if I need to. I'll do that when I do a pickup check. The pickups themselves seem like they're in pretty good shape. This one here sits a little bit loose compared to this one here. As far as I know, there is supposed to be a spring in there that kind of helps balance that out, so I'm going to check to make sure that that's in place. If I'm lucky, it might just be stuck to the magnet underneath. That does happen from time to time on these pickups. Down here at the bridge, it has these roller saddles. They're in reasonably good shape, but I've discovered that I've found that over the years doesn't take very much effort to get that low E string there to move out of place. So I might refile the groove to get that to sit a little bit better there. And the body itself is actually in pretty good shape. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to give it a nice clean up. This will come off once the strings come off, and I'll be able to clean up under there. That's in good shape. The most challenging thing for me though is finding a replacement bar for this Bigsby style tremolo. The bar is supposed to reach up to somewhere between these two pickups, about there. And there are aftermarket bars available on like Amazon or StewMac and places like that, but it's really difficult to find one that looks like the original bar. I'll put up a picture of the Epiphone so that you know what I'm talking about here. It's sort of an elephant's trunk style bar. It comes up to here. It looks kind of nice and elegant, rather large, but it fits the guitar. And I kind of just want it there, so I got that. I don't use the vibrato very often, but it's on a guitar like this, you just need that there. You know, the 5-speed transmission, I think, is what Joe Bonamassa calls this. So if anybody out there happens to know where I might be able to find one of those bars that's similar to the original bar, maybe you've got a project guitar or something like that, let me know. Drop me a comment, please. It'd be great to get an original looking bar on there. Otherwise I'll have to settle for an aftermarket one that just won't be the same. And that's basically your look at the guitar itself. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to move on to checking out these pickups to make sure that they work. Okay, so we are going to do just a quick pickup check here. Apologies, the strings that are on this guitar are pretty old, so they've kind of lost their sparkle. They do sound a little dull. They're not too far out of tune though. I'm just checking to make sure that these pickups make sound, and what you're hearing now is actually that's the neck pickup. I'm plugged straight into my Fender Blues Jr. I have a little zoom microphone right in front of it that is hooked up straight to the camera for better audio. So this is the neck pickup, clean. Volume. There's a little bit of scratchiness in the volume. Okay. And tone. It sounds like my battery is going to go. Okay, moving on to the middle position here. That's both pickups. There's a little bit of noise in the switch. Not too bad. Hopefully I can be able to just spray that and work that through. And then there's just the bridge pickup here. Tone control. Bit of noise there, yeah. Well, overall, both pickups work. It sounds like there's a bit of noise in the switches. Hopefully I don't have to do any soldering or rewiring or anything. I'm hoping I can just get in there with a little bit of deox spray and work it out a little bit. It seems to be going away the more I do twist these, so that's very promising. And overall, I'm very hopeful that this old bird still has some life to it. Well, now that we've had a closer look at my Raven and verified that the pickups still sing, there's really nothing left to do but to just get started. I'm going to remove these old strings, which means that the bridge is going to come off as well because it's held down by the tension of the strings. It's a floating bridge. You'll notice that I've got some masking tape here to mark the bridge's location, even though I know that there is a little paper label underneath the bridge there. That little label is over 52 years old and it's pretty brittle, so I'm worried that, just in case it comes off the moment I take the bridge off, I figured it would be best to just err on the safe side. This is a pretty gentle tape, not much stickier than your average post-it note, so it won't hurt the guitar's finish. This vibrato tailpiece is also going to come off as soon as I take off the strings because it's also held down by the tension of the strings. I'm going to take the whole thing off, including the end pin for the strap button. And finally, I'm going to take off the pickguard here so that I can access the whole body and start giving it a good cleaning. So I'm going to speed up that part of the video just to keep the runtime down so you can enjoy this little piece I recorded some years ago. I'll be back in a moment. Well, now that those old strings and the other parts are off, there's really no going back now. I'm kind of committed. There is still a lot to do with this guitar, but what I've decided to do is to save that for part 3 of this little video series. I appreciate everyone's patience with this. I am a very busy guy, so it's not always easy to find the time to film these little bits for this. But part 3 will come very soon, so thank you very much for sticking around. If you've watched thus far and you like what you've seen here today, well, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss the next video in this series. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I do hope to see you again sometime. Okay? That way I can...
Oh, it wasn't on.
Oh, okay, so start...